How is it going, everyone? Got quite a bit to talk about in this video. One of the best PlayStation Plus essential lineups in history. Is that too much of a stretch? I think it's one of the best ones ever. Is rolling out right now with a top tier title that is definitely one you want to check out, although a sequel, so you definitely want to play the first title. A studio that has created some excellent PlayStation exclusive titles is unfortunately shutting down, so always a bummer to hear about news of that. And we have an update on Star Wars Outlaws, the open world Star Wars title coming from Ubisoft. We'll talk that at the end of this video. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to ask you guys, please like this video and do leave a comment with your thoughts. It really does help out the channel a lot, and it is much appreciated. But first of all, the January monthly titles for PlayStation Plus are rolling out right now. By the time you guys are watching this video, it should be completely live. One of the best lineups in recent memory, maybe of all time. I don't want to say of all time being the best, because there was that one month with like Final Fantasy VII Remake in it. And then in the history, there have been some really, really good months. If you look back at like the last decade of PS Plus, there's been some really good months. But this month, you've got A Plague Tale Requiem, which is an awesome game. It came out back in the fall of 2022, and it's excellent from a visual standpoint, excellent from a story standpoint. Very dark, very grim, and the follow-up to A Plague Tale Innocence. Now, this being a very narrative-driven game, obviously, you want to play A Plague Tale Innocence first. I would not recommend you to jump right into A Plague Tale Requiem. That is not the ideal move to make. Play Innocence and then jump into Requiem. They're both great games, and Innocence does have a PS5 upgrade available as well, so you'll get even better performance as far as that's concerned. Evil West is also available as a Plus title. I think this is a great, like, secondary big title. This is from Flying Wild Hog, the same people that made the Shadow Warrior games, and it was received fairly well. I want to say it's in the 70s on Metacritic. Mostly positive reception on Steam across 5,200 reviews. 74% of those reviews are positive, and it does have a pretty interesting style. A dark menace consumes the American frontier as one of the last agents in a top-secret vampire hunting institute. You are the final line between humanity and a deep-rooted terror that now emerges from the shadows. Unleash hell with your firearms, lightning-fused field gauntlet, and gadgets. Kill bloodthirsty monstrosities in a style as a lone hunter or in co-op with a friend. So if you do have a buddy with PS Plus, you guys can jump into Evil West together and go through the campaign in co-op. And then also, Nobody Saves the World, a very well-received smaller title. When the ancient calamity reawakens, who can save the world? Nobody. That's you. You're nobody. Master the art of transformation to become a slug, ghost dragon, and more in this new take on the action RPG from the creators of Guacamelee. Complete quest to discover and swap between 15 plus varied and distinct forms, with each offering its own set of quests, which you can complete in creative ways that mix and match abilities in unexpected ways to unlock and complete even more challenging quests and explore a vast overworld on your own or with a friend online while clearing shape-shifting dungeons in an effort to stop the calamity and save the world. And then you also have Warframe, the collection exclusive PlayStation Plus pack. In addition to the monthly games lineup, January 2nd will also see the release of the Warframe collection. This exclusive Plus collection contains multiple weapons, armors, and items for digital extremes. This is a free-to-play sci-fi multiplayer action title. Once downloaded, they'll be available in your in-game Warframe inventory immediately, regardless of whether you're a new or returning player. You'll get a bunch of in-game items as far as that's concerned. Obviously, the shining game this month is A Plague Tale Requiem. That's a game that still goes for like 20 to 30 bucks, really like 25 to $35. It has not seen that heavy of a discount, even being a game from October of 2022. Excellent game. Just, as I mentioned, play A Plague Tale Innocence. It is on sale for like $10 or something like that as a part of the holiday sale, so go pick that up. But yeah, a great roster of titles. And this is the caliber of month that I would like to see every month. Maybe you can't hit this caliber, but something close to it, especially with the price increase. I think something like this is doable. I mean, and at the end of the day, Requiem is a game that's, what, a year and a half, almost a year and a half old, a year and some change old. So is Evil West, and, you know, Nobody Saves the World is a smaller game, but I feel like games like this, it's a decent ask for PS Plus. I don't know, maybe it's too much of a push, but let me know in the comment section down below. I would like to see some quality this year, especially since 2023, I think most people would agree, a little bit of a hit and miss in a lot of months. I mean, some months were pretty good. I think that month with Callisto Protocol and Weird West was pretty good, but there were some bad months that definitely caught quite a few strays from my audience, at least. Alright, so Plus games rolling out right now. Some unfortunate news, as noted on Eurogamer, VR studio First Contact Entertainment has shut down. Now, they are behind the PlayStation exclusives and the VR titles in Firewall Zero Hour and Firewall Ultra. They immediately noted lack of support for VR within the industry was a factor in its decision. First Contact Entertainment noted the news before Christmas via a statement on Facebook. After almost 8 years of working with the most amazing team I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of, I'm sad to announce that we will be closing our company, First Contact Entertainment, by the end of the year. The lack of support for VR within the industry has eventually taken its toll. As a AAA VR game development studio, we are not able to justify the expense needed going forward. We are a team of fearless innovators willing to push new technologies to its limits. It's been a wild ride. Thank you. It is unfortunate, but let's be real. Like, if you're making VR-only titles, it's gonna be a hard game to succeed at unless you have heavy investment from a Sony who are trying to get, you know, VR2 to pop off. It's a difficult game to be in the mix for, and they created PlayStation exclusives, so obviously they had some investment from PlayStation as a whole, but the sustainability of these games is going to be difficult because you're talking about 2 layers of entry. First of all, you have to have a PlayStation 5, then you have to have a VR headset. Think about that from a wider sense. How many people are going to, first of all, be able to afford that? And second of all, how many people are going to be interested in spending that much money for this style of experience? There is an amount of people that are going to be interested, but it's a limited amount of people. When you're talking about buying a PS5 console and then the VR2 headset, you're looking at spending $1,000. After buying games as well, that's a lot of money that most people are not going to be able to justify buying all that. VR is still very much in its infancy. I know we had VR on PlayStation back in 2016, but it's only been, what, 7 years since VR came out in 2016? That's not a lot of time, and once VR gets to a state that it's easily accessible, it's a little bit cheaper, it might be something that really resonates with a lot of people. For me, I can't wear that kind of headset for lengthy periods of time. I've got a buddy that's super into VR gaming, and I know those people are out there, but it's just like, can you create AAA big budget experiences for a small user base? Yes, that small user base are probably so into VR that they're gonna buy a lot of these games and there's not as much competition, but when the user base is so limited, it's only so possible for these games to really pop off. And how much is a Sony or a Ubisoft or some of these big publishers gonna be investing into these VR titles? I don't know, at some point, you have to be like, okay, they're not making a return on the investment and you have to pull the plug. I can understand why they would be shutting down. A game like Firewall, yes, it's one of the more compelling VR titles on PlayStation VR, but how many people bought the game? Probably not that many, and you're still talking about a game with a significant budget attached to it. But it is what it is. Speaking of games with a significant budget, as noted on the Disney, the official Disney page, Star Wars Outlaws looks to be a fall 2024 release. And for Star Wars fans, Star Wars Outlaws, the open-world Star Wars game, is set to release late this year. The game lets you explore distinct planets across the galaxy, both iconic and new. You can risk it all as Kay Vess, an emerging scoundrel seeking freedom and the means to start a new life along with her companion, Nyx. If you're willing to take the risk, the galaxy is full of opportunity. Now, Ubisoft and open-world games might be an idea that doesn't get a lot of people excited. However, I have to say what I've seen out of Star Wars Outlaws, I am very impressed by. I'm very excited for the game, and it's being helped by Massive Entertainment, and they've done a lot of great work with some of their titles that they've put out. I wasn't crazy about Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, but I'm not a big Avatar fan, so, you know, take that for what it's worth. They also did the Division titles. They're working on a Division 3. They've got a lot of titles in the mix right now because they just put out Frontiers of Pandora. Star Wars Outlaws is scheduled for this year, and then the Division 3, you would imagine 25, maybe 2026, but they're a super busy studio these days. So we'll see how that ultimately turns out for Massive, but Star Wars Outlaws as a whole, the game looks quite good. I just hope it does deliver, and we'll see how that turns out, hopefully fall of this year. I could see that game getting delayed into early 2025, fingers crossed that doesn't happen. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a major PlayStation Plus update with some of the best titles Plus has offered in a long time rolling out today. Go ahead and download those. Just do play Plague Tale Innocence before Requiem. And by the way, Innocence was a Plus title a while ago, so if you were a Plus subscriber when it was available, I mean, look through your library, it might be in there. Unfortunately, a Firewall Games developer in First Contact Entertainment has shut down, citing the lack of support for VR within the industry as a factor, and Star Wars Outlaws scheduled for fall of this year. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.